What's up, guys? So here's my E30. First time you guys are seeing it, no, second time actually, on the channel. So I got it about a month ago, and I've only really done one thing. I just did the top. So this is a brand new top. I got it from like Auto Tops Direct, and I got the highest level one. I think it's like German Classic or something. That was like 700, 800 bucks or something. So got the brand new top installed and everything. Took a lot longer than I expected. It was pretty tough, but I got it. And you know, it's not perfect, but I'd say I did pretty good, and saved myself, I think, what, $700? Yeah, that I asked the shop and they said that was the cost of just labor. So yeah, saved myself 700 bucks by doing it myself. I'd say I did pretty good for DIY. And just followed a guide on ECS tuning. So yeah, so it's blue, and this is exactly what I was looking for. So I was waiting a long time to find a blue E30 late model. I kind of wanted a late model, but you know, whatever I can find that's blue, I'll take. So this is the paint code is Martius blue, and it's pretty nice. It's a metallic paint. The paint is like super, it's like all scratched up and like hazy, so you can't really see the pearls in the metallic paint, but it's there. So yeah, it's a vert. I was kind of looking for any two-door, either a coupe or a vert, but I'm kind of happy I got a vert because, you know, I have the sedan as my daily, and then I have the E36, that's the coupe race car. So this is going to be the classic cruiser build. My plans, I have a M50 right here. Here's the M50. So I'm going to be doing an M50 swap with this, and then a ZF. It's what, S5 320Z, I think. So it's from 328s and M3s. See, I got the 5-speed, got the M50. I have a diff also. I think it's like a 293 or something. Yeah, it's an automatic. Kind of paid a lot for this, but I was looking for a blue one because, you know, E30 is my dream car. It's what got me into cars, and blue is my favorite color, and I like metallic paints. So, you know, I had to get a blue E30. So there's a bit of rust here. You know, car is not too clapped, but it's not the best. Bit more rust here. You know, nothing I can't fix. Yeah, so she's a little dirty, kind of shitty, kind of a shit box, but it's okay. I'm gonna fix her up. Yeah, so this is my E30. I'm an E30 guy now. So my first thing that I'm gonna do, I guess, actually starting the project besides the top, you know, I'm gonna start removing the whole front of the car and then do a removable core support so that I can swap the engine pretty easily, pull it in and out, because I know I'm going to be taking it in and out a lot. So right now I just want to get the engine, I just want to get the swap done and get the E30 running. And then after that, once I have more money and time in the future, maybe like a year from now, next summer or whatever, I'm going to be cleaning up the engine bay, you know, pulling the engine out, shaving it, painting it, all that stuff, making it clean. I don't want to do anything too crazy with this car, no turbo or anything. I just want to keep it NA and make it super like reliable, you know, refresh the engine and everything, refresh all the other little things on here. Alright guys, so I'm going to start the removable core support now. So first thing, I think you got to take out the hood and then the fender, and I'm just going to start just taking stuff off from the front, take off whatever I can see, you know, bumpers and all that stuff, and then yeah, start drilling out the spot welds, and then, you know, nut certs and all that stuff, or riv nuts. Oh, I'm doing it wrong, I'm an idiot. There we go. Here it is, the M20. Gonna get rid of this because it's slow and kind of lame. All right, so I got the fenders off and like all the stuff off the front, and so I started draining the radiator and nothing was really coming out, so I had to like poke it with the drill bit right here. And then yeah, like this stuff started coming out. It looks like sand. I don't know how sand got in there, or my friend said it was like plastic, but no, this definitely looks like sand. So yeah, sand was somehow in the cooling system. All right, so I've got everything that was attached to the core support. I've got all of that removed, and also the wiring for all the stuff on the passenger side. I disconnected everything and then just moved it over to the side so that I have room to cut the welds right here. And you can see I tried to label everything, so see all these plugs, so to make it a lot easier when I put things back together. And then I have no idea what this is, so I just labeled it. I don't know, but it doesn't really matter what it's labeled because I have the other side also labeled right here. I don't know, so it'll be easy to connect it back up later. So here's what I removed. I have the radiator, the E fan, which is connected to the AC condenser, and then the oil cooler right here. And what I did was I plugged these with some paper towels because these are going to be sitting outside. I don't want like bugs and dirt and stuff to get inside. And then I've also taped off these ends because I don't want stuff getting inside. So that's pretty much what I did to everything here. All right, so I also took some measurements of the core support, so like from here to here, and I took pictures of it, so it's like a, so yeah, I just show you guys again right here. So you can see that that's 3.9 inches, and then it was the same for this side right here, that little line, 1 before 4, and these are in tenths. So now I'm gonna start drilling out the spot welds that hold the core support in place, and I have a center punch right here, a drill 90-degree adapter, because it's going to be kind of hard to get these ones. So I have this off Amazon, and these are also from Amazon. These are just spot weld drill bits, and yeah, so I'm gonna start drilling. The little centerpiece that's supposed to keep the drill bit on target slipped out, so I don't know, I guess I'm doing something wrong. Damn, I'm an idiot. I cut my finger reaching for my drill. Damn. Always be careful. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, I cut my finger on like one of these. And just be careful because these are super sharp. Oh, it's actually bleeding a lot. I'm gonna go put a band-aid on this. Alright, so I got all of the spot welds drilled out, some underneath, There's 2 here. Same for the other side, got all those done. And then also got these 3. And then now I just need to use my angle grinder, and I'm gonna cut these welds. This one, and then right here. And then after that, I should be able to remove the whole core support. All right, so I got the spot welds drilled out and did a bit of cutting too for the other welds. So I think it's about to come out because it's starting to come loose. So I just try to take out the core support now. Alright, so next I'm going to use my angle grinder, like a flap disc or something, and just try to grind all this down so it's flat. Alright, so all of the holes and like cuts that I made, I filled it in with welding, and then I kind of like grinded it down so it's smooth. Alright, so it's not perfect, so you can see that there are some spots where it's not perfectly smooth, but it's okay, it's good enough for me. So now I'm gonna start cutting like the tabs and stuff on the core support, and then use the cardboard to kind of like mock up the metal plates that I'm gonna be welded to the core support, and they're gonna form the new tabs. So yeah. Alright, so here are all of the pieces cut out, and so these ones are gonna go like right here, and then you can see that there's a gap right here, so I think later I'll like cut this and try to like bend it in and then like seal all of this up, or at least up to here. It doesn't really matter if it's open or not, because if it's mostly welded it should be strong enough, and it doesn't matter if water or anything gets in here because it's already open in other spots. So yeah, so this is how it's gonna sit. And then the more rectangular pieces without the angle on it is gonna be right here. So before I kind of tack these in place, I'm gonna want to spray these with a weld through primer, because once it's welded in, there's gonna be spots on the inside that I can't really access to spray paint and primer on. So hit it with the weld through primer first. All right. And then I'll start tacking it in place. Position everything and then tack it. Alright, so I've got everything kind of positioned how it's gonna be. Everything's all lined up. And I got these all lined up too, sticking out about 1 inch on the front and then about 2 inches in the back. So the reason why it's longer in the back is because, shine the light in here. So I don't know if you can see, but in there, there's that piece of metal that kind of goes across, and you can see where it's welded. So I want to make sure that when I drill the holes on the back side of these tabs, that the hole in the rib nut doesn't go through that piece of metal that kind of goes across. I don't know if you can see, but it sits right about here, a little bit past this first hole. So it goes like kind of across. So you want the rib nuts to be past this, so like right around here. And then here on this side, you can actually just see it looking into the hole. So it's right about here. That metal piece goes across like that. So yeah, now you saw me earlier, I cut these, the original metal tabs that were here, but I didn't cut this part that's sticking out. And the reason why I didn't is because there's still the metal underneath, and I wanted to keep all of this so it kind of keeps the entire core support lined up vertically, right? So that's why I left those there, and I'm doing only these first, and I'm going to weld them in. Once these are welded in and I think all secured with the rib nuts and bolts, then I'll move on to do the tabs I'm going to weld here. So yeah, I got these clips kind of holding it in place. It's all pushed up against the other metal and all lined up. And then I've also checked the measurements right here from the core support to the end of these the frame railing thingies. So yeah, 1/10 before 4, so 3.9 inches, just as I measured before. And on this side, same thing, 3.9. So, and while that might not be accurate because, you know, this metal got bent, I'm also looking at the holes right here from drilling out the spot welds. So you can kind of see, looking at it straight on, it's like lined up right about there. And the same for the other side. So that's why I use the drill holes and also the measurement, just to make sure everything is lined up properly. So now I'm just going to tack it in place. Alright, so I welded these tabs in. Here are the welds. Not the cleanest, but not too bad, I think. Alright. So I've also welded across the top right here. And then I've grinded it down already so it's smooth. And then it slides in perfectly fine. So now I'm just gonna put some primer on it. So I'm gonna spray some primer on the inside where the welds are, because those are not protected right now and I don't want it to rust. This is what I'm using. Alright, got a bunch of primer all up in there, so it should be good. Alright, so I got the core support all positioned. It's not lined up perfectly right now. I haven't measured it because right now I'm just gonna drill a hole into the tabs first, and then once I have that hole, then line up the core support, and then that hole will tell me exactly where to drill on the actual piece of the frame. Looks like that's about half. Alright, so I'm going to be using these rib nuts, and the biggest one that I have is M8. So this hole isn't big enough, but it's fine because the rib nut isn't going to go on this side, it's going to go on the actual car. So for the holes in the car, I just need to drill a little bit bigger. Alright, so I got everything measured. Alright, got these M8 rib nuts, and I sanded a little bit of the edge right here to expose the metal, so that once I put these in, I can put a little tack on them, so that just in case, so that there'll never be a case where, like, as I'm loosening the bolt, the rib nut kind of just spins in place and then the bolt kind of gets stuck in there. Alright, so I got the Sharpie line right here, and this is lined up with this edge, and that's why I cut the tab off so I can make that line. So now I'm going to use that line as a guide. So when I weld the new plate in, it'll be all lined up and everything and straight. Alright, here are the welds. Again, not the best, but they don't look too bad. So now I'm just going to cut these off and then kind of grind it down to make it smooth so that it'll be flush and it can like slide in smoothly into the car. Alright, so the removable core support is finally complete. I didn't film doing these roof nuts because it's kind of the same thing as the other ones, you know, kind of just drill it and then put it in and like check the alignment and everything. So like if it was a little bit off, you know, I just use a Dremel and then like adjusted the hole. I think doing these ones first was the right way to go because then I was able to get the core support properly lined up, focusing only on these four, and then once that was all properly lined up, then these ones kind of just lined up perfectly because, you know, I just drill it while it's mounted and it's already properly like positioned. Core support is all done now and it's pretty strong, like I can stand on it. And it's just primered right now, so it won't rust, because eventually I will clean up all of this like rust and then paint it, but that's gonna be later. I just want to get this like finished like functionally. So now it works. I'm gonna remove this, and next up is just taking the M20 out. Here's a closer look. And for these ones, I used a M8, and these are M6 for the rib nuts and like the bolts. Yeah, so just 8 bolts holding it in, and it works perfectly fine. And originally I was going to weld some plates, reinforcement plates on the back, but I've seen a few other people, they didn't do that, so I figured it was fine if I didn't. And yeah, holds strong, so it's really fine. You don't really need those. And yeah, that's pretty much it.